The wait no one sees. There comes a moment in adulthood when people stop asking, "Are you happy?" Instead, they ask, "How's work?" As if the answer to that question somehow explains everything. Maybe it does. Because for many adults, work slowly becomes the center of life. It decides when they wake up, when they eat, when they sleep, and sometimes whether they remember what happiness even feels like. Every morning began the same way. The alarm rang. A hand reached out from beneath the blanket and silenced it before the second beep. The room was quiet, too quiet. There was a coffee mug on the desk from the night before, a jacket hanging on the chair, a laptop that had never really been closed, only asleep. Outside, the city was already awake. Inside, there was only silence. Another day, another race. Another chance to pretend everything was fine. The commute looked different every day. Different buses, different faces, different weather. Yet somehow it always felt exactly the same. Hundreds of strangers staring at their phones. Some looked tired, some looked anxious. Some closed their eyes, hoping to steal 5 more minutes of rest before another 8, 10, sometimes 12 hours of work. No one spoke. Everyone seemed to carry an invisible weight. No one asked what it was. The office was bright, too bright. The lights never changed. Neither did the routine. Meetings, emails, deadlines, corrections, more meetings, lunch eaten too quickly. Coffee that no longer tasted like coffee. Conversations that never went beyond, busy today. Yeah, you, same. And somehow those 3 words became the most honest conversation anyone had all day. There was a time when work had felt exciting, the first paycheck, the first promotion. The dream of building a better future. But somewhere along the way, ambition quietly turned into survival. The excitement disappeared so gradually that it wasn't even noticeable until one evening. After leaving the office long after sunset, there was a strange realization. The security guard knew the employee's schedule better than most friends did. Working late again, he smiled politely, so it seems. The elevator doors closed, the smile disappeared. People often say adulthood makes you stronger, but they rarely mention how lonely it can become. Friends slowly stopped calling, not because they stopped caring. Life simply became louder than friendship. One got married, another moved away, someone else had children. The group chat that once never stopped buzzing now only came alive on birthdays, sometimes not even then. Social media told a different story. Vacation photos, new houses, promotions, engagement rings. Perfect smiles beneath perfect sunsets. Scrolling became a dangerous habit, not because of jealousy, but because it quietly whispered, everyone else is moving forward. So why do you still feel stuck? The hardest battles were never visible. No one saw the panic before presentations, the exhaustion hidden behind morning coffee, the deep breath taken before opening another email, or the night spent staring at the ceiling, too tired to sleep, yet too anxious to rest. Being exhausted became normal. Being overwhelmed became expected. Being okay became something to perform. One Friday night, the office was almost empty. The clock read 9:47 p.m. Outside the windows, thousands of lights covered the city like stars that had fallen to the ground. Inside, only the sound of keyboards remained. A notification appeared. Deadline moved up. Another one, need revisions, then another. Can we schedule an early meeting tomorrow? Tomorrow, a Saturday. The screen blurred for a second, not because of tears, because the eyes had forgotten what it felt like to rest. The walk home felt longer than usual. Rain had started falling. People rushed past beneath umbrellas. Couples laughed while running across the street. Friends gathered inside warm cafes. The city felt alive. Yet never had it felt so lonely. Back in the apartment, dinner was simple. A slice of bread, a bottle of water, silence, no television, no music, no messages waiting. The phone remained still, no one asking, "Did you get home safely?" no one wondering how the day had been. For a long time it had seemed normal, but that night, the silence felt heavier than ever before. Sitting beside the window, watching raindrops race down the glass, one question quietly surfaced. When was the last time I actually lived? Instead of simply getting through another day, there was no answer, only the sound of rain. And the quiet realization that perhaps the heaviest burdens are never the ones people can see. The weekend came. But it didn't feel like a weekend anymore. The laptop stayed open, emails kept arriving. The phone buzzed every few minutes, each notification carrying another request, another revision, another reminder that there was always more to do. At some point, the days had stopped having names. Monday felt like Thursday, Saturday felt like Monday. Even time itself seemed exhausted. One evening, while organizing old files on the computer, a forgotten folder appeared. *** photos, *** curiosity 1. The first picture was taken years ago. A younger version smiled at the camera with bright eyes and an unmistakable confidence. There were no expensive clothes, no luxury apartment, no impressive job title. Just a smile that seemed effortless. For a long moment, nothing moved. Then a quiet thought appeared. What happened to that person? Not because life had been unfair, but because somewhere between chasing success and meeting expectations, that version had slowly disappeared, not all at once, little by little, deadline after deadline, month after month, without anyone noticing. Even without noticing it personally. The following Tuesday brought another meeting, another presentation, another list of things that needed improvement. Everyone nodded, everyone took notes. Everyone acted as though carrying impossible expectations was simply part of being an adult. Looking around the conference room, something felt different. The faces weren't confident, they were tired. Someone kept rubbing their temples. Someone stared blankly at the table. Someone quietly sighed, believing no one had heard. For the first time, a realization settled in. Maybe no one here was truly okay. Maybe everyone was simply getting better at hiding it. That evening, instead of heading straight home, the feet wandered without a destination. The city was glowing beneath thousands of lights. Coffee shops overflowed with conversations. Music drifted from open restaurant doors. Life continued everywhere. Eventually, a small park appeared. Children were laughing near a fountain. An elderly couple walked slowly, hand in hand. Neither of them seemed in a hurry. They stopped to watch the sunset. They smiled at something too quiet for anyone else to hear. It was only a brief moment, yet somehow it felt more meaningful than months spent racing through life. The question returned. When did I become so busy that I stopped noticing sunsets? A few days later, the phone rang. It was home. The conversation lasted less than 10 minutes. Nothing extraordinary was said. Have you been eating well? Don't stay up too late. We're proud of you. 3 simple sentences. 3 ordinary sentences, but after the call ended, the apartment didn't feel quite as empty. Sometimes love doesn't arrive through grand speeches. Sometimes it hides inside ordinary words repeated for years. Words we only begin to understand after carrying too much alone. That night something changed, not dramatically. There was no life-changing decision, no dramatic resignation, no sudden breakthrough, only one small choice. The laptop remained closed. A walk replaced another hour of work. The phone stayed inside a pocket instead of in a hand. For the first time in months, there was enough silence to hear the sound of breathing, and somehow, that felt like healing. People often believe healing begins after life becomes easier, but maybe that's not true. Maybe healing begins much earlier. The moment we stop pretending we're invincible. The moment we admit we're tired. The moment we allow ourselves to rest without guilt. The moment we remember that our worth was never supposed to be measured by productivity. Life didn't suddenly become perfect. Deadlines still existed. Meetings still filled the calendar. Bills still had to be paid. Stress didn't disappear overnight. But something inside had shifted. The job was no longer allowed to define an entire life. Success was no longer the only destination. There was room again for slow mornings, for real conversations, for quiet evenings, for watching rain without thinking about unfinished work, for calling family simply because their voices mattered, for sitting with a cup of coffee that didn't have to be finished in 5 hurried minutes, small moments. The kind most people overlook. Yet they quietly become the memories we miss the most. Perhaps adulthood was never meant to be a constant race. Perhaps no one was ever supposed to carry everything alone. Maybe strength isn't found in working until there's nothing left. Maybe real strength is knowing when to stop, when to breathe, when to ask for help, when to choose peace over perfection. If you're listening to this tonight, maybe you're sitting in a quiet apartment after another exhausting day. Maybe you're driving home in silence. Maybe you're lying awake, wondering if tomorrow will feel any different. If that's you, please remember this: you are not behind. You are not failing, and you are certainly not alone. The world often celebrates people who never stop. But there is quiet courage in slowing down. There is courage in protecting your peace. There is courage in choosing yourself, even when the world keeps asking for more, because one day, years from now, no one will remember how many emails you answered, how many weekends you sacrificed, or how many nights you stayed late at the office. But you will remember the moments you finally looked up, the sunset you almost missed, the phone call you decided to answer, the walk that cleared your mind, the deep breath that reminded you you were alive. So if life feels unbearably heavy today, set the weight down for a moment, not because you've given up, but because even the strongest hearts need somewhere safe to rest, and perhaps that place has been waiting inside you all along.